Hello.
Hi.
Okay, I can't hear anything yet. So let me see
Okay.
what's going on with my audio.
Check, check.
Oh, there we go. Now I can hear you.
Yes. Wonderful.
Woohoo!
I haven't seen you since I was drunk one day.
We were like singing together and just like, oh my god, I totally remember that song and like took me down memory lane.
That's right. That's right. So I'll give a little background. I've started recording. So just basically
Okay,
we'll have like a good old casual conversation. I cracked a beer. Figured it's Friday,
nice.
um so everybody, this is Anthony. Now Anthony and I met. We've never actually met. We met on this site called Omegle. I think it was Omegle that day, wasn't
No,
it?
it was chat roulette. I
It
think it was
was
chat
chat
roulette.
roulette. See how drunk I was? I didn't know which one it was. But in the time of quarantine, I was just having some drinks and I was like, everybody else went to bed. So I got bored and I wanted to just chat with new and interesting people. And I found you among the
Yeah,
sea of penises.
yes, there was a lot of penises. I mean,
So
pretty much like 90% men and like what 10%, not even 10% women, and I don't know what the other percentage is to make up the rest of the video that they put on there.
mhm. It's not usually a safe place for children. I'll just say that.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, so I found you and we started having this conversation about different music. I remember. Now I don't know if
Yes,
I can't remember if you had anything to drink that day or if it was
uh,
just me.
water.
Okay. You were just naturally fun. That's
I
that's
was
what I
yeah.
remember.
This is my personality right here.
Yeah. So then I mentioned to you that I was doing this podcast and I said, you should come on and be a guest with me and we can have a chat about somebody that you want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent you the list of artists that we were including on the show. And then Tevin Campbell came up. So I was like, I really want to do an episode about him. Um, I've reached out to him now. The only way I can really get a hold of him was by tweeting him because
Oh,
I
I
don't
was
think
about
he
to say
has.
too. Like, if you're listening to this, Tevin, come on the show. We want to
Yes,
talk to you.
we really want Tevin on the show. So maybe I'll get the word out there. Even if he sees that we've done an episode about him already, he's still welcome to come on the show. That's just how it is. It's very, very open. We do whatever I feel like doing, which is
Especially if you have a rare experience to talk to a major artist like that. Like, definitely.
yes. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to any of the episodes, but we've had. I mean, it's very. You're from where? California?
California.
That's right. So, if you had a chance to see the episodes that we've had so far, it's been about 50-50 with between Canadians and Americans so far.
I tried listening to it, but I kept on getting distracted by work and you know
Hmm.
casual life.
In life. But yeah, like the artists we've covered so far, there's a lot of Canadian ones that you might not know of, but they
Most
might.
likely.
But there's also I've had quite a few Americans I've talked to as well, which has been really nice. Um, so yeah, we'll see if we can get Tevin on one day. Now, tell me about how you discovered Tevin Campbell.
Yeah, it. I was in high school. Actually, no, I was not in high school. I was actually in junior high, I think. 13 years old when that album came out, and I remember hearing it on the radio. The song "I'm Ready"
Hmm.
and the like the hook, like the music and the hook that they have for it was really inspiring. Like it really caught my attention. So uh, I found this one jukebox at this restaurant, and I would always pump quarters to it to replay the song over and over again if I can find it. And uh, and my parents were like, "Why do you keep playing that song?" I'm like, "It's awesome! Like listen to how he just harmonizes himself during the chorus. I mean, I love it." And I was just hooked from there because he has like one of the most unique voices, in my opinion, during that time, and I think he still does too.
I haven't heard him sing since since had hit puberty. I had a chance to actually hear his voice change. But
Yeah.
that's what we can do today. We can share some of the tracks and um,
Oh,
I,
totally.
that's a nice thing about doing stuff on Zoom. Now, this is an audio podcast, but the video can go into bonus material if people want to see some of that stuff. We have
Oh, cool.
It's what's called Patreon account for subscribers, and then they can get to see some of the videos that we talk about too, and see what we're doing here with my cool Prince background that no one can see but us.
I love it.
I was like, oh, there's a connection there to what we're doing today. Right? There is, because Tevin Campbell did work with Prince. And I don't know how many times he did, but he was in the movie Graffiti Bridge. His video Round and Round, Prince makes a cameo in it.
Yeah, I remember that one. Actually, because I didn't get to watch a whole lot of TV when I was a kid, because my parents didn't want me to. They thought I was watching too much TV when watching like nerdy stuff like Star Trek. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's cool.
But I did get to a chance to like watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I know he was like on some other shows as well as a stand-in, as a boyfriend. It was like, I can't remember what the show is called. Like, it's called Monica or something like that. And he was like a boyfriend for a girl, he came in as Tevin Campbell, I think, and the girl like fainted. I can't remember, but
yeah.
The only thing I remember him as far as doing acting or video work was his Broadway musical.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Oh man, Broadway. So he starred as Seaweed in Hairspray.
Okay.
And so, have you seen the movie?
I have not.
Hairspray. Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not big into musicals, but
oh really?
I'll tell you more after you explain yourself. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, Hairspray, just to give you some context, it's a show like based in the 60s, and they talk about segregation and all this other stuff. But there's like a heavyset woman who managed to get popular on a TV show, and she's fighting for popularity and for equality. And there's a character named Seaweed who happens to be black, and she comes together, or he comes together with the main actress's friend, which is named Penny. So there's a few songs that he sang, that Tevin sang, and he actually sounded really good. And there's a scene where, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but there's a scene where he's rescuing Penny. Let's just put it that way. He's rescuing Penny, and the way how he kind of acted out this scene was just kind of funny, because he sings the song really, really well too.
Well, yeah, I guess no spoilers, right? But still,
yeah, I'm trying not to spoil it as much as possible.
There's got to be a limitation on spoilers, but there never is now, because now we can watch everything from the past whenever we want at our fingertips.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's kind of like you can never spoil anything anymore.
It's like everything's in the trailer now.
Yeah, it's like, I want to tell you the end of The Sopranos. No, you can't. It's 20 years old, but someone hasn't seen it. There
was a horror movie where these people were trapped in a building, and they're quarantined, and people were turning to zombies. And they literally showed the scene at the end of the movie, same as the trailer that they played. And everybody was like up in arms, like, what the heck did you just show me? Like, you ruined it.
That's awesome. But yeah, to elaborate on the musical thing, now here's the thing. I respect musicals, and it takes like acting and singing at the same time and everything. It takes a lot of talent. So no disrespect to musicals. For me, it's a matter of, I am a musician. I've been in singing in bands for a long time, and I host karaoke. And so I'm a huge avid lover of music. It's a huge part of my life. Now, when I want to sit down and watch a movie, I just want to watch a movie. I don't want you to sing to me the movie. I just want to watch. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Like, I had enough music. I just want to sit down with no music, please.
Yeah, well, it's like, I don't need you to sing me the damn story. That's all I'm asking.
Then I guess you hated, not hated, that's a strong word, but I guess you didn't watch any of the Disney movies then.
Okay, now you've got me. You've got me on Disney movies, because they are all pretty much musicals. So, yes, I've seen them. But a lot of them, not all of them. Can you believe I haven't seen The Lion King?
The cartoon version?
Yeah, the original.
Oh, wow. That's
I mean,
like,
I knew the songs. I knew all of the Elton John songs from it. We even sang them in choir in school and everything.
oh wow, that's awesome. I mean, yeah, you have to watch it. It's a really good story. Watch it before you watch the live action one. I personally didn't like the live action one, but
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it didn't have Tevin Campbell in it, you know.
Right. No, absolutely. And I agree with you. I cannot even watch the live one until I see the original, or that's just wrong.
Hmm.
Right? You got to do the comparison. Okay,
But since we're
cool.
talking about Disney, though, it does tie into Tevin Campbell with Disney.
Nice.
Did you know that?
I think I skimmed over that, but I'm trying to see. Oh, a
It was
Goofy
a Goofy
movie.
movie. Yes,
Ah!
he played as Powerline, the musicianist in the movie, and so the son, I forgot the son's name, and Goofy, uh, their relationship is kind of not tearing apart. It's just that his son's turning into a teenager and wants to go with girls and things like that. And Goofy felt that he needed to reconnect with his son. Well, it turned into a two-part story because the son made a lie that he's going to go to the Powerline concert, and Goofy wants just to take him around the world, around the country.
Mm-hmm.
And so you hear a couple songs from Tevin Campbell or Powerline, and they're really, really cool. Like they're really good especially for being a cartoon. And I can't remember what year that actually came out. So
let me
I
click
know
on it.
it was before
2095.
2000. Ooh, there we
Right
go. So we're
smack
in the
dab in the
zone.
middle.
We're in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I used to. Where actually my sister wanted to sing, or not sing, but dance to that. I was like, I want to help you dance. And that's a good
That's
one.
fantastic. Like I heard of the Goofy movie, but I never watched it. But at the time, like in 95, I was 16 or 17. So I was kind of like not interested in that kind of thing anymore. Yeah, I was
I'm done
too
with
busy.
cartoons.
I was too busy being this cool teenager, or I thought whatever I thought I was.
I need people to like me. I need people to like me.
It's so silly. It's so silly. So, but yeah, so Tevin started back. He was born in 76 and he's from Dallas, Texas, basically, a small town. Waxahachie, I think. Waxahachie, Texas is where he was born. Started performing gospel early on, and then he had an audition for a jazz musician by the name of Bobby Humphrey, who immediately took interest in him.
Yep.
And obviously was very connected because he got Tevin signed to Warner Brothers Records.
Mm-hmm. And even Tevin, I'm not sure if this came before or after, most likely after signing up with that. Like he met up with bigger stars from there because he really wanted it. Michael Jackson happens to be one of them. And he flew his family to Neverland Ranch, his entire family.
Oh, I bet he did.
And yeah, I mean, Michael Jackson was making like money.
Yeah. Once you got Mike back then, you had MJ on your side, you were good to go.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Like, pay my bills, please.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I think he was really captivated by the voice because Michael Jackson had the high voice, and so does Tevin Campbell because his range is so super high, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you had the big guy that really kind of launched it, which was Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones, the legend.
Mm-hmm. Love person. He makes songs that make babies. I'm telling you right now.
He does. He's a legendary guy, and a lot of people don't know he's actually Rashida Jones's, the actress's father.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Actually,
the more you know.
Oh shoot. I'm gonna have to do some Google searching.
It's true. So, Quincy. Now we're talking about Tevin Campbell. When this is all going on, he is super young. He's like 12 years old.
Yeah, super freaking young, and
to have a voice like that. Wow.
Yeah, it was such a not mature voice, but it was just mature in terms of the quality of singing, and at the time it was really kind of hard to find because obviously we didn't have YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. And social media, so it was a lot harder to be recognized. And I remember seeing a couple of his performances on YouTube, obviously, and it just kind of seemed a little corny to me, having to sing his songs and trying to dance at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a good dancer, at least in my opinion. I'm like,
you can't have it all, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can't have it all. Even his music videos were kind of like, do something else.
Is it awkward to watch?
It's kind of, well, at least the upbeat songs were a little bit awkward because he needs to dance, and you have the dancers who are more experienced with him, and it kind of looks like he's trying to catch up a little bit.
Okay. Maybe he's safer just pulling a move here or there, not following all the choreography is probably for the best.
Yeah.
When you're the lead singer, you can get away with that too.
Well, I think people won't care. They'll probably just want the voice.
I'd rather hear the voice than watch you dance.
Me too. I want the voice.
I want the voice, yes. But yeah. Of course, his voice was still very young and it was very high. But at the same time, his technical proficiency for someone at that age was fantastic. I don't know. I didn't find anything in his history saying what kind of training he had at that age. Maybe he just got the training from. Anything. I mean, just singing in a choir to begin with, you get quite a bit of training on how to take care of your voice. A very, very elementary amount, which is really cool and very helpful.
I mean, exactly. I mean, because if you're in a choir, they really want to make sure that you know how to sing, and so I'm pretty sure they have courses in their church, and they really make sure that these people can sing, and that kid has a natural gift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like 90% of anything that he did was definitely just God-given talent. So then, after obviously doing the audition for Bobby Humphrey, Bobby submitted an audio and videotape to Warner Brothers Music, where he got to meet Benny Medina. Now that's a very huge name in entertainment, Benny Medina. I believe he's a producer of both music and television. Or it might just be
really cool. I'm kind of Googling it a little bit too.
Yeah, I have like two screens going. So on the other one, I'm just kind of looking at some of the Wikipedia information. But
yeah,
Benny
exactly.
Medina is a huge name in the business. So that time, Benny was the Warner Brothers Senior Vice President and General Sales Manager of Black music specifically.
What was the song, like the audition song that he sang? I'm trying to find it.
If you find it, that's cool, because I don't see anything about that. Like, to give people some background on Quincy Jones. Quincy's middle name is Delight. Isn't that cool? Quincy Delight Jones Jr. Now,
not only does he make baby making music, his middle name happens to be Delight.
He's just perfect. So, he's one of the biggest American record producers of all time. Songwriter, composer, arranger. 60 years in the entertainment industry, 80 Grammy Award nominations and 28 Grammys.
Oh, man.
I don't know if anybody's ever even come close to touching that. No, so
I can't. I wouldn't know. I lost track every time I watched the Grammys. I'm like, oh, he won a lot of awards.
Of course. But it's like, may I ask too, like, how old you are? I forgot.
I am 40 years old.
And I'm 41. So we've got the same table of reference pretty much, other than what media we were exposed to, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Same range. Okay. So I guess Tevin puts out a single before he does a full album?
Yeah. And I think the full album was 1991.
Okay.
Which I see here. And Tevin was actually the first one. But they kind of like abbreviated his name, which I didn't understand why they did that. Maybe just to make him look cool, I suppose.
Oh, did they? Okay. But his first, he was on an album that was Grammy Award-winning Album of the Year called Back on the Block, Quincy Jones, 1991. So
I see that. Mm-hmm.
There was several well-known artists on that album. And it was kind of like how I think Tevin was unveiled to the world.
Yep. And looks like he actually worked with Babyface on that album too.
Mm-hmm.
And that man makes baby making music too.
Oh, absolutely.
There are songs I know it's a little bit side, but there are songs that I did not even realize he wrote. And that's insane. Like, I came across a YouTube video where it's like, oh, Babyface songs that he wrote. And then all of a sudden they play all the songs like, he did not just write all those songs. I'm like, I remembered it.
Yeah, no, legend, another legend. So this kid is so lucky. You got to, with the the odds to become famous in the world are just so small. And he just got hooked up with the right people.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it I don't know how to explain it. It's just that I mean the quality of his voice, because it's kind of weird how I say it. Like his voice is like an alien, right? Because it's so different from everybody else. And when I say alien, because he has that high range and mad skills in terms of like doing the ad libs in all the songs, and he just rocked it, and that's why I love it.
I'm going to insert some clips of different songs here and there throughout the podcast.
Do it.
So, I mean, it's up to you. Like, if I do that post edit or play them as we go. If I play them as we go, then we'll just listen to a clip of whatever, and then I'll probably add it in properly into the show later so that it sounds good.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's start with a really, really young clip of Tevin. What should we play to start so people can get the idea of how his voice was at that time?
I don't think I've ever heard Round and Round. Do I remember that song?
Round and Round is the only song of his I know, like right off the bat when I hear it.
I'll probably recognize it when it comes on.
It was the big single. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to hit share screen so that you can see and hear what I've got going on over here on this side. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. And then for anybody else who's listening to the podcast, if you want to check out the videos, you can do that by subscribing to our Patreon. And now we're going to go into a share. So Round and Round. I hope this is the actual. Okay. I'm looking for the official video. Here we go. Now watch carefully.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one.
There he is.
That look on Prince's face. Prince's role in this video is to look at a young protege and be like, go on, boy. Be your bad self. And, but if you play that back in this day, you show it to somebody who has never seen Tevin Campbell, like the look on his face was kind of a little bit strange for me. Like he just kept on watching him. I get it. That's how he acts, like Prince.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I wasn't really, I've heard that song before. And the hook is really nice, but I didn't really fall in love with that particular song. And I don't know, that's just me.
I did. I think the verse is stronger than the chorus, which is
you think so?
Not usually. That's just yeah. I
like the chorus.
I prefer the verse myself. That's funny. It's cool because it's good to each have your own idea of what works for that song. But so that was the first hit. Solo hit, charted number 3 on the R&B chart, Billboard R&B, and the Billboard Hot 100. It made its number 12. That was produced by Prince and also featured in Graffiti Bridge. Now, here's once again going back to how lucky this kid is. I wonder where the bridge was between Quincy Jones working with him and then Prince coming along.
Oh.
Like, were Quincy and Prince associated? That's what
like if you mean like if they work together or they just kind
of maybe Prince just saw him in Quincy's thing and said, "Hey kid, come hang, I want to do this song with you," or you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I remember reading that because Prince did produce or help produce a song, and I think that what happened was, and I can't remember where I read this, but what happened was that Prince helped write the song for Tevin, but it might have been too risque because that was Prince's way of of writing music. So they had to dial it back for Tevin, and I can't remember what the name of that song was. And I actually had it in my notes, and I actually undid it when I was trying to add some additional notes for some reason. So I'm trying to look for it.
Yeah. See if you can look for that, because I'd be interested in hearing that. And I wonder if because Prince sometimes will write songs for people, but he'll do his own version or his own demo of it as well. So it's possible that there's a version of Prince did himself of the tune too. So yeah, that was really cool.
That's still Round and Round, I think.
Okay.
That's the one, I think. And
the very next.
Actually, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. We'll continue on the train you're on there.
Well, it's actually kind of jumping too far ahead, but I found the song, and we'll eventually get to it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to still kind of go down the timeline then, because like a year later, he made a guest appearance on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, playing Little T, who was a fictional pop idol.
Yeah.
That Ashley was in love with. So
actually said it was Monica for some reason. I don't know why, but
the Ashley's name was Monica on the show.
No, I don't know why. I wrote down Monica and that he was a celebrity crush and stuff like that. But I don't know where I got that, because I was, as I was doing my research, it might have been the article that I pulled it from, and they probably said it in a different way. But I'm totally wrong.
Well, it's okay.
But that's the one I remember. That's the one I remember reading about, was that he was on a show where he played as a celebrity, as himself, and the birthday girl kind of like fainted at that point.
This is something he has in common with Tommy Page, because Tommy Page did the same kind of thing on Full House. But Tommy Page was playing himself. But he came on there to sing to Stephanie on her birthday. It was the same kind of idea, and it's a way for whoever's record company is trying to break a new artist to get them on a show and get them
that exposure.
I mean, I talked to Mark Calderon from Color Me Bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's episode 3.
Actually, I think I started with that one. As a matter of fact, I'm sorry, I just kind of blew my mind here. I'm sitting in super heated house right now, and my air conditioner is working in double time, and I'm still hot.
I don't even know what that's like. I live in Canada. Jeez. No, just kidding.
They might as well build my city in the freaking sun.
So Mark said that, like, that's the thing too. Like, Color Me Bad was booked and appeared on Beverly Hills 90210, and as soon as they did that, the day after that episode aired, he said they sold 1.2 million records the next day. The most they had ever, sold. And it just,
that's incredible.
So from that being said and that happening, that is just probably something record companies want to do.
Did he perform on the show?
I think they did perform on the show. I have to look back at that and actually watch it again.
And I would have to look at the clip that they had for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So I saw some episodes, but I never knew that he was actually on.
I can play. Well, let me see if I can play the clip.
Yeah.
Let's see. That would be pretty cool. How about this? Yes. Little T sings Happy Birthday to Ashley.
Little T.
Or there's 2 clips. The other one is he asks Ashley on a date.
Yeah. I don't remember that episode because I've never seen it. I just remember reading about this, and this is like,
okay.
I'm super excited right now. I didn't know he was on TV like this.
Okay, here's a
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ashley. Happy birthday to you.
It feels like it.
Happy birthday, Ashley.
Okay, she just falls backwards and faints. Her face the whole time is just like blank slate.
I just like how he just stands there. It's like, okay, what next?
I'm trying to turn that down a bit. Yeah, that seems to be the way to do it. You get on the show and you sing someone happy birthday, and your career takes off.
They actually did it. They did it for New Kids on the Block, but it was the new season, or like not the new season, but like the most recent version of Fuller House. That's what they called it. And they had New Kids on the Block come on and sing, "Please don't go, girl." I can't even do it.
Yeah.
Please don't go, girl.
That was the only episode of Fuller House I've ever watched.
That's actually the only one I saw too, because I like the song.
Because I still love New Kids. I'll never get over New Kids on the Block. Are you kidding me?
And they're actually still really good.
They are. I think they're just as good, if not better now. Honestly, they're seasoned now. You know? Yeah,
they're very seasoned. So like when they start singing the song, have you ever seen the music video to "Please Don't Go, Girl"? It's so funny. You have this child running to the car and giving a flower to like this older woman. And I was like looking at this laughing. I'm like, looks like he's giving a flower to his mom or something.
I know. Well, Joey was the lead singer on that, and he was the youngest member of the group at the time. He was only probably 13 in that video, I'm guessing, something like that.
He looked a lot younger. Like the way he looked so young.
Yeah, it could have been like 12 or 13.
Probably. I mean, you know, makeup and the Vaseline effect obviously can shut off some years. I wish I could put a Vaseline effect on me like permanently.
I know. I was in love with Jordan. Jordan was my major, massive, huge crush. All of his posters everywhere in my room. I had the doll. I had pillows. I had all of it that I could get my mom to buy for me. I would do it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually didn't have much of a favorite. Because at the time I didn't really. That's not when I started looking at guys yet. But there was one guy who was like the tall blonde one, I think. And I forgot his name. Shoot. But he was the one that caught my eye in terms of like his dance moves, stuff like that, and his singing. And
is he obscure?
My cousin.
Like he's not doing it now.
I don't know if he's doing it now or not. I'm trying to find out who that guy is.
I have one in my head right now that I wanted to name. Could it have been Jeremy Jordan?
Jeremy.
Now there's two Jeremy Jordans. There's the 90s pop star, super blonde, buff Jeremy Jordan. And he sang a girl.
Not him.
I
don't think it's him.
Like you. He sang that.
Yeah.
Song.
Yeah.
But then there's like a newer Jeremy Jordan that's like a.
Wait, why is Mark Wahlberg getting the New Kids on the Block?
He was in the original.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, he was in the original group. He never made it to an album or anything. I think he very quickly was out because he wasn't a singer.
Oh, right. He's more of a rapper.
Yeah. So that's why I think later when New Kids had a bit of success and then they said they wanted to get Mark performing as a rapper and start his own thing.
I'm actually flipping through these pictures right now trying to find him.
Yes. So I should go back to Tevin, hey? That's the beauty of podcasting is like we can just go off on tangents and it's fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Down the rabbit hole we go.
Round and Round earned him a Grammy Award nomination. So he got Best Male R&B Vocal Performance nomination, but he lost to Luther Vandross. Luther Vandross is a good person to lose to. It's fine.
I love Luther Vandross.
very
I sing him a lot. I sing him and Tevin Campbell and Luther Vandross every time I go to karaoke.
Oh, wonderful! What are your go-to songs?
So Tevin Campbell's song I would go to was "Can We Talk."
Yeah.
That's the song I do, and I tried another one that's actually we're gonna probably talk to you about a little bit. There's another one, "Tell Me What You Want Me to Do," and then with Luther Vandross, gosh, I try to sing all of his songs. because they're really good. But one I guess was like Love Won't Let Me Wait.
Okay, cool. Like I've only tried a Luther song once at karaoke, and it was "Power of Love."
That's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
And the only upbeat song I actually tried by Luther Vandross was, oh shoot, what's the name of that song? 1,000 kisses from you is never too much. Never too much, never too much,
Never too much. Yeah, that's the one. Here, let's see this video. Oh, of course, there's ad in it. Skip. Let's look at this. New York.
Yes.
Last night I saw you standing, and I started pretending I knew you, and you knew me too. And just like a romance, you were too shy, but you weren't the only cause, so was I. And I dreamed of you ever since. Now I build up my confidence. Next time you come my way, I know just what to say. Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name.
I definitely know that song now that I've heard it
Oh.
again. And
That was the song that got me hooked on Tevin. It's almost like your high school crush that you married.
yeah,
That's the song for me with Tevin.
that chorus is great. And his
Oh, actually, it
voice
wasn't Tevin talking. It was the other one. I'm sorry. But yeah, go ahead.
his voice is incredible. Like the tone
It
and
is.
everything. I think by that time, he's obviously a little bit older in that video. Which album is that off of?
That was off the I'm Ready album, which is after Tevin.
Okay.
And the one thing I loved about that particular song, because it was upbeat, but it had like this. It was so dynamic to me because there was the chorus, right, which started low, and then he gets into the bridge, and the bridge is what kind of catches it for me. I love the bridge in it, and then it gets into the chorus, right? And I love how he does these bridges in all of his songs in that particular album, the I'm Ready album, and it's like one of my. That's like. I'm so excited that you just played that.
Oh yeah, I'm glad I did. I gotta get that on karaoke. I gotta do that one. I like it.
It's awesome.
But I think too, when I listen to him sing there, and you can obviously see that he's grown up a bit. I think his voice has already changed. It's already gone.
It did get a little bit deeper.
Point, his verses were deep, like compared to. Before.
Can I mention one song before we continue with the I'm Ready one?
Yeah.
So in the previous Tevin Campbell album, the first one, there was one song, Tell Me What You Want Me to Do.
Yeah.
And that song is phenomenal. Like he hits these ranges.
Okay, so this is still off the album before, the Tevin album.
Yeah, the Tevin album.
Okay, let's go back to doing another share screen here. Do it. We must skip ads. I need to get YouTube Premium or something. Stop being cheap, Naomi. Get the good stuff.
Get with the girl.
That's right. Okay, turn up.
Yeah.
Call me up and I came to see you. You say you've been awake all night. It hurts me deep inside when I see you crying. Whatever's wrong, I'll make it right. If you understand how I feel, ooh, you should know that my love is real. Oh, tell me, what do you want me to do? My love is always here for you. So tell me, what do you want me to do? Tell me, girl.
Oh yeah, I know that song. I
Yeah,
love that
and
song.
there was the bridge in the middle where he hits these insane high tunes, and that bridge was so cool. Like it just takes that song to the next level. That's like one of my favorite songs that he sings.
Oh yeah, this is a real throwback for or flashback Friday for me because it's one of those moments where I was like, the title didn't get me. As soon as I heard it, I'm like, I know exactly. I've heard this. Whew, what a voice! And
Actually,
I love the fashion. And he's wearing these nice tailored suits, but back in the '90s, a tailored suit was extremely baggy.
Exactly, baggy with the shoulder pads and everything. He had that straight T look, you know.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, that's a great track too.
Cost $500.
So 91, 92, that was the album Tevin. Then what else did he do in that time period? He got to work with so many people. Another
He
Grammy,
did.
another Grammy Award nomination for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance that year, but lost to Al Jarreau for Heaven and Earth.
Al Jarreau's a really good singer.
And like he's in good company, really good company. So I'm sure he was okay with the fact that just a nomination is a beautiful thing. I'm Ready, the album that we heard that Can We Talk from. So the kid's growing up. He's got his adult voice happening. Produced by Quincy Jones and Benny Medina. A more mature sounding album to reflect his current state of mind. Makes sense. And that's what every young person who starts young, they progress and you see how they
to
grow
listen
through
to the
Oh, you're frozen.
oh, okay, it froze for a second.
You're back. Frozen again.
Oh, it's froze again. Okay, there. Now we're back.
It's freezing again. We can try. Why don't you try going out of the chat and back into it? Because sometimes that'll do it. That'll fix it.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. It seems to be fine. Seems to be fine.
Cool.
Maybe I'm screwing things up by playing video clips. I don't know.
Well, you did say your internet was broken earlier, and you're.
Oop, oop. Frozen again.
Albums and all the songs, and actually, before I got to the show, did you just miss the whole part of what I say?
Yep. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to restart a new meeting.
Okay.
I'll send you a brand new link in the next minute.
Sounds good.
Okay. Sorry about that. We'll just make sure
no problem.
It's all good. Okay. Let's hope for smooth sailing now. Yeah, I tried to find you on Facebook and then I searched Anthony Honciano and couldn't find you.
Maybe Groove Defied, maybe.
Is it Honciano or Honciano?
Honciano.
Okay. Hold on, let me pull up Facebook again. Okay, so what do I search?
Groove Defied, GROOVDAFIED.
On Facebook or on Facebook Messenger?
Facebook.
Groove define. Okay. Lodi, California?
Yeah, Lodi.
Lodi. Oh, I like the song.
Which one?
Stuck in Lodi again. I think
Oh,
that's
never heard that one.
CCR. Okay, cool. Got it.
Yay! Now we can chat.
Oh, there you are. I'm going to go back to, where was I?
I
You
think
were making
we're
a
talking
point.
about the. Let me just get a second to gather my thoughts, because I think what I was talking about was that because I actually did that's what I was actually about to say. So I did take a chance to listen to all the albums, you know, because I wanted to kind of refresh myself, and I felt that I'm Ready was definitely the strongest album, you know, and I felt that going from Tevin to I'm Ready, like obviously there's the season, like he's gone through some things, so he has a little bit of experience, and the way how they wrote the songs, as you mentioned, like it's a lot more mature, and it kind of hits a more like an older audience because it's a lot more relatable, and the way how he sings the songs are just phenomenal. I love almost every single song in that album. I kid you not. I must have listened to that thing over and over again.
Did you find that the music sounded less dated just because of the years that it was? I mean, it's only a 2 or 3 year difference from the first album to that album, but when you're a young person, of course, that's a huge difference. A, but B, stylistically, the music more mature.
I would say the music is more mature. The first album I felt was more about like getting him edgy because he's a kid, and try to make it upbeat because he's also a kid, you know. And it was kind of you could tell like just the way how the album, you know, sounds. Like he actually has some really good songs. And Tell Me What You Want Me to Do was I think was probably the most mature song out of that CD. Then he came into this one, and I think what happened, at least this is my opinion, is that with the success of Tevin and people are starting to get to know him more, they decided to push the envelope, and they started utilizing his range a lot better, and his vocal skills, because this guy, like every time he hit those songs, like these particular songs, like, I'm trying to pull up the song list here, that way I don't miss any. Tevin Campbell, I'm Ready. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So obviously, Can We Talk was definitely one of them, and the next one after that, Don't Say Goodbye, Girl. That song is so powerful. It is so good. At least in my opinion, it's really good.
Top 30 R&B hit, Don't Say Goodbye, Girl, the 4th single off that album.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that song, because it's about pain, you know, and the way how he sings the song, you know, he's like talking to the girl, and as soon as it starts getting towards the end of the song, he is just belting those notes like crazy, and you can really feel the pain that he put into it. It's really good. At least that's what I feel.
Oh, and that's so much more important than anything, is when you can feel that emotion, even just listening to it, not even seeing it visually, but you can feel that in the voice. Way more important in some aspects than technical skill.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think he just grew up a little bit to where he had a lot more experience, and maybe a girl broke his heart. You know, he probably had a crush on somebody, and then and it didn't work out, so he was able to kind of, you know, hone that experience.
The thing too is he probably felt a lot of things going on as he went through puberty and was growing into his adult years, because of the fact that he was probably conflicted about his sexuality. You know? Are you frozen? Oh, you almost froze. You almost froze. Yeah, he was conflicted about his sexuality, I'm sure. And that was something that he had to hide at that time. I feel that he probably felt it wouldn't be okay to disclose that, because the year it was, you know, the style of music he was singing, I don't think it was acceptable in pop culture at that time for a young
Mhm.
male R&B singer to be gay.
Right. And you're absolutely right, because especially in this genre that they're trying to hit in the market, and companies before then, they never wanted to take that chance. But now, obviously we're a lot more diverse in our culture. Now we have companies saying, oh, gay pride, which is awesome. But yeah, and I was reading an article, and I'm trying to pull it up.
Oh, it's frozen.
And during that time, while after that release of that album, he actually started getting, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he started getting soaked into the whole stardom, and it kind of got to him, to where he started like drinking at the age of 14. And he was even driving his like a car to parties because nobody would drive him. He was 14 or 16, one of the two, but he didn't have a license. And he started living, like the stereotype of, oh, the celebrities, they're gonna out there and party and do all this stuff, But that's what actually, I started reading about right after I'm Ready, and I could tell why he went to it, because it was such a successful album. The song "What Do I Say," that's another good high range song too. Like, once he hits that bridge in the middle of the song, he takes that to another level. And then there was, that's the name of the song.
Yeah.
And that song is actually really hot. It's probably the most sexual song in this album.
Ooh.
It is. And he goes, break it down. I don't want nobody just to hear this sound. And the metaphors that they use in the lyrics, it's really cool how they did that. So that's probably one of the songs that Babyface probably produced too, or either that Prince maybe, but it was actually a really good song. That one right there. But yeah, that's my favorite album.
Growing up so young under the eye of the media and all of that too is going to take its toll on every young star. Whether did he weather that attention well, or did he end up going through a trouble phase later on?
I think I don't know. I mean, I still believe that, because in the beginning, before he did the Tevin Campbell, there were some interviews that I saw, and he was talking about how he wants to be a total star. Like, he really actually wanted that. And, most celebrities like Whitney Houston, for example, would say like, oh, they noticed me, so I did it, and I did my thing. And she just kind of, talk it off and say like, oh, I just wanted to sing. Well, Tevin Campbell was really into becoming a world star, and that's what happened to him. And I don't know, maybe not having a normal child life and being surrounded by nothing but adults, he kind of probably adopted that lifestyle from being around adults instead of kids his age.
I haven't read much information about his home life or his family life either. Hopefully, like, he had some good grounding.
I would probably say no, because like I said, he actually, well, as far as like maybe earlier years, and that's the thing, I actually couldn't find anything either. And I think they really kept that out of the public eye.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah. But as soon as he started reaching the teens, which is around this, when I'm Ready dropped, that's when he started, really kind of getting on the wild side, where he started driving with no license at, underage, and drinking at underage as well. And he would always wanted to go to the parties and meet people and things like that. But as far as like maybe even the personal life, relationship and stuff like that, like, you never see anything about that. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he kept it very quiet, as we all know. Like, right now, he, it's probably jumping forward a little bit here, but he did kind of come out a little bit. He says, I don't care if you call me gay, but he just falls in love with it, whatever. So he doesn't want labels, I suppose. But
I did read a portion of that interview where they were trying to dig it out of him.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
About
horrible.
his sexuality. I don't remember. I didn't recall how old he was when that interview happened, but
That was very recent.
he basically said something about he was into some. He's not going to say he's gay, but he was into some kinkier sexual stuff.
Yeah.
And then the interviewer pushed and asked more questions like with men or with women kind of thing. And they pushed and pushed till they got what they wanted out of him. And then that was kind of his coming out. That was I don't think that's not a fair way.
I don't think that was really fair because, coming out, as a gay man, it's really a next step in or like the evolution of your life, because there's awake and then there's awake, and
is it like you were awakening to yourself first and then awakening to everyone else?
Yes. Like, me as a gay male, I came out to my father, I believe I was 16 years old. And I was really attracted to men. I didn't understand it. And I tried to figure it out. And that's when like Yahoo was around. That was like the only search engine at the time. And I tried, I started looking at, pornography to just, see how things were, but I never got attracted to the women. And then I found it more with the guys. And so I'd save magazine clippings, and then my father would find them, and I had to tell lies. And that's the problem when you're living, you're living a life where you're acting like you're awake, and that you're just going with everyday life. And so, I had to make up a lie saying, "Oh, and I just want to look like those guys. I want to work out and things like that." Like, made up a lie. Then a couple years later, that's when I kind of just looked at my dad, and we were actually having a nice day, and the dad, I'm gay. And my hair started rising a little bit because I didn't know what to do. And I knew at one point it's going to come out, and I didn't, I just didn't want to hide it anymore. And all he says like, "Okay, I love you." And then we just kept on going the day, which is awesome. And it's all about creating that connection, and then he understood why I don't like sports, why I didn't play sports. But I was in the marching band playing the clarinet. But, it's not fair, especially when reporters want to get to celebrities' personal lives. It should be him coming out on his own time instead of them dragging it out. So hopefully karma goes to that person a little bit.
It should be in his own time. Thank you for sharing that story too. I appreciate
you're welcome.
knowing your story. I think he probably had a difficult time. Obviously, since he sang in a gospel choir at a young age, I think maybe the church would have probably played into some difficulty for him.
Also,
I think if you're raised in a Christian environment, you're told that being gay is wrong.
Oh, you mean that way? Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I am a Christian. I look at it as not my place to judge people's sexuality, and how do I really know if that's, I don't really know if it's a sin or not. I just, I want people to just be happy. I want my friends to just be my friends and be happy with who they are. That's the way I figure, but there was probably some pressure there,
Definitely a lot of pressure, and maybe even the parents weren't really into it either. There's all these question marks, and he never really, like I said, he never did any interviews about his family, and there's nothing about his family in terms of how they treated him when he was younger. And like you said, I think it's a good thing too, because if that was to get out, then you're going to have pretty much like a Whitney Houston kind of story where we all know where Whitney Houston started from and how she ended up, and all of a sudden like creates this huge backstory that maybe it may not even be true, because how they kind of fluff it. But I think it kind of gives him a good security, to secure himself and his family, in that until they drag that thing out, and him being gay, then now the family knows.
Now, in 96 or 98, when Back to the World came out, that album was produced by Puff Daddy, Sean Combs.
Yes.
And it didn't do very well. Now, that had nothing to do with the fact of him coming out either, because I don't think he had yet.
He didn't come out. I'm trying to find the article, But I remember seeing like after 2000 is when he actually started. He's word about him coming out stuff like that, and they actually did the interview.
Mm-hmm.
But and I'm trying to Google that right now. Interview.
While you're doing that, I was just going to say he seemed to have everything you could possibly have set up in his corner to be a longevity, have a successful career for life. With all the success he'd had and all the mentors and whatnot, he was basically to me like Usher would have been,
Yeah.
Usher can still put out hit albums. So it's like, what happened?
Yeah. When the Back to the World album came out, I tried listening to it, and there was a couple of catchy stuff. And I think what he was doing, he was experimenting new songs, obviously. At least, that's what they wanted to do with him. Mm-hmm. And they tried to bring it to that next level. And this is actually probably the album where you start to hear his voice change a little bit deeper now.
Mm-hmm.
And there was only a couple songs that I liked from it, which was Could You Learn to Love and Tell Me Where. Mm-hmm. And I tried listening to the rest of it, and it really didn't vibe with me because it wasn't him. I felt like that he was just kind of giving what the market or what the industry wanted to sell instead of him sharing his voice the way he wants it. Because I think he had a lot of fun in the I'm Ready. That's why it was so successful. And then now it came to this, peer pressure is coming onto him because he's a lot older. Maybe he was experimenting that time too, even more. And the music industry wanted to hit that R&B, the modern R&B, like neo soul kind of thing, around that time, and try to get to a wider, older audience. And I felt that wasn't his range. I felt that that's kind of why the song or the album didn't do so well.
Just a complete type of change in his style. I wonder if he was happy with that change or how he felt about it. I wonder how much control he had over the choices that were made for him musically.
That's a good question too. And, that was like a booming time too for new artists coming out and boy bands and things like that. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of competition now that the internet started, having a lot more exposure, but not really videos, but, in terms of getting culture together and reading up on artists. So I think that, he probably got pushed. At least that's my opinion. He got pushed into something that he needed to do because he written the contract and they made him sing what they want him to sing.
I feel like he was used as something to bounce ideas off of and see if they would stick or not. And that's, for someone with that much talent, that's very upsetting, in my opinion.
Yeah. But, like I said, there's a couple songs, like Could You Learn to Love was actually pretty good. And Tell Me Where. And Tell Me Where, I think, was it's not slower. It didn't really hit any ranges, but he was able to kind of dance around a little bit, and it was actually kind of a softer tone. And it made me feel like it was part of the I'm Ready album in a way. So, or like, that's kind of like where he kind of got that I got the vibe from was I'm Ready. But those are probably the only two that I like from that. And it's funny too, because I look at the picture, the album picture, he's like an all in white suit. And I thought at first like his pants were ultra baggy like a pimp or something. I was like, why is he dressed like a pimp for some reason? I was like, oh, it's just the way the colors are.
Those baggy suits, I'm telling you, man, that was all of the rage. That was it.
And he also had the longer hair too, like the braids at that time. I didn't really care much for the braids.
I see that in his wiki photo. It's like, I don't know. So things started to get dicey in '99 because he was arrested for soliciting a lewd act.
My voice kind of pigeonholes him to be as a younger person, and he's probably trying to maybe look a little older, perhaps. I'm not sure. I didn't really dig the braids that much.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if you heard what I said because I think it froze for a second.
Oh, What'd you say?
That's okay. That's okay. I was just saying things got a little dicey for him in '99 because that's
Yeah.
when he got arrested. Um,
Yeah.
It was for soliciting a lewd act from an undercover police officer at a sting operation. So a sting operation in an elementary school area where they were worried about children and they because of the cruising and such that was happening around there. He was in possession of a small amount of marijuana at the time of his arrest. To me, not a crime. I don't
Yeah.
smoke dope, but hey, it's legal in Canada. But this is a different time, different age, and it's America,
Mhm.
different laws.
With actual science proving things too, instead of saying that weed kills and stuff like that. 'Cause I remember the time when those advertisements come out, about smoking marijuana is bad, and they go, "Oh, if you smoke it, you get irregular heartbeats. It can lead to this, this, and this," and it got me scared until I met my boyfriend who introduced me to weed. I was like, "You smoke weed," and I was kind of scared about it first, but he explained it to me, and I got to try it for once because I figured, what the hell.
Mhm.
And I don't smoke weed at all, actually. Even now, I don't smoke weed. But I'm actually a very big supporter about it. But anyway, yeah, I agree with you. I'm kind of digressing here a little bit, but uh, I do agree that there's nothing bad with that. That's such a petty crime.
It's very petty.
Well,
And actually soliciting. So what soliciting a lewd act would mean, maybe he was looking for someone to have sexual relations with.
yeah, but I see. Was it and that's part that kind of confused me. Was it because he wanted to have sex with the guy in public, or was he trying to lure him to like his house or something like that, to where that's and maybe he tried paying him? He's like, hey, that's the only way I can think of why it would actually work out like that.
I think the issue in this situation was the location. Like it was why were these events happening, first of all, near an elementary school to begin with?
Yeah, that's true.
Because I'm pretty sure he wasn't looking for a child. It wasn't like that.
Oh, no.
I would have said that in the report.
Right.
It was just location is like, they're like, don't do this around here.
Yeah.
There's places for this kind of activity, and this is not the place. So
you should have came to San Francisco.
there you go.
We'll totally take care of him. It'll be okay. You can join your people.
Right? He probably just didn't have that luxury yet, so he had to keep everything quiet and just.
Mm-hmm.
But then obviously it wasn't quiet anymore. What I'm wondering is, that interview you talked about, was that before or after he was arrested?
It's definitely after he was arrested.
That's probably why that's why the question was asked.
Oh yeah, because of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't even state yet whether or not it was a man or a woman he was. But usually, I think when they use the word cruising, that's usually what that would entail.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes, you always hear the stories that the reports get a little fluffed, perhaps. Mm. But like I said, he was actually kind of a party animal. He loved the parties, he loved the drinking, stuff like that. And it probably got to his head, like, I'm a superstar. I should be able to do whatever I want. Yep. He probably had that kind of mentality, and then this brought him, back to earth, and realized, you need to like snap out of it. And we all have our issues, and even to this day, I don't judge him about that. It just happens to be an unfortunate incident,
No, that was 20 years ago. Things were a lot different then.
So yeah, wow. I just made myself feel older just by saying that. It's 20 years ago. Holy crap!
Every time I think about how fast 20 years have gone by, it just blows my mind. Sick. So this all happens, and then we go on to 2003 to 2008 Broadway. So he'd been on a low profile for a very long time, and then you did the Hairspray musical.
Yes, Hairspray, and you can there's actually a YouTube video of him singing on Hairspray, and it was kind of funny because he actually came out of the theater on the last night they were doing it, and there was only a few people wanting to get his autographs. I'm like, no, it should be a lot more people getting his autograph. That's Tevin Campbell. Like, but yeah, he actually did really well.
And he went on a touring production too. So he probably did it in New York and then went off to Australia to do the same.
I think that's really good for him. I think it kind of got him to a new culture and probably something he probably
Yeah.
initially wanted to do,
No
because
kidding.
Broadway.
I think there's way more, and he probably felt way more accepted, and that's a good
That's
thing.
exactly my point. Like there was obviously going to be some gay male men.
Mm-hmm.
That's a double standard right there. There's definitely gay men in Broadway, and they probably made him feel a lot more comfortable, and he felt that he was, that's what he wanted to do, and so he probably got that role.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm just kind of skimming through the rest of the information too.
Yeah.
But he's gone back into doing music here and there, just like bits of it, and he makes appearances at award shows and different projects, and you'll see him again. His social media presence as of now is I've only been able to find him on Twitter.
Yeah, and there's a lot of actually live performances that actually happened recently, the last couple of years, that he sings all of his number one songs, and most of his number one songs were from the I'm Ready album, and one, which is Tell Me What You Want Me to Do. There's a live version that he did, I think it's like 2017, and or no, actually it's a little bit further than that, but it was a very, very subtle way how they did the song. You hear the music, like the piano playing it, and he was singing slow, but you can hear like the experience versus the album version and the live version. Like he really like if you could find that one, that is like so beautiful how he sings that one, and he dances around on some of the notes stuff, and it was just flawless performance.
I was going to say, how is the voice held up?
It held up well. Like he sounds just like he did when he was younger.
I wonder if he can sing them in the same key, in the original keys. The same.
I'd probably say that he sings at a lower key, probably like one key lower.
Okay.
But the man has still has the high voice, but he uses the like more like a belting sound instead of his the what's called the head sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the terms of what they call it.
Yeah, it's
but
like a falsetto
is
like your head voice and then your chest
head
voice.
Yeah, and I think he kind of does more on the chest voice, but he still hits the high. And
that's really good.
Yeah, it's so good. It's very beautiful. I fell in love with him again as soon as I heard that, and I must have played that 100 times back to back. And then you'll see him like singing Can We Talk at concerts, and like recent concerts, and he sounds good in those ones too. And for some reason he's saying I'm ready at somebody's wedding. Like the two couples were dancing to I'm Ready, but I think the purpose of I'm Ready was more like, it wasn't really more of a romantic song. I think the whole premise of I'm Ready was about that the girl wasn't loving him as much as he loved her. And so he's saying, I'm ready to love you, so stop doing me wrong. Yeah. And so I think they just chose the song because the words I'm Ready and it's actually a really nice song. I was like, do they really know what the backstory of that is? You just got married.
No kidding. It's like not the wedding song you'd imagine.
Yeah, exactly. But if he's coming out with something recent, something like I said about Whitney Houston's album, where before her last album, she took a long, long time, and there's rumors that something's coming out just like this. And I really do hope this is something that he has a little more control of. Mm-hmm. And he can do what he wants to do. But obviously we'll have some big producers here, like T-Pain is one of them, Faith Evans, as I'm reading this. And
Teddy Riley is a big deal.
Mm-hmm. These are big people. And the fact that he's still doing these events, showing that he can still sing, it really shows that he actually maintained his voice and, changed up. I think he kind of changed his life right after that issue where he got arrested. And I think it really gave him a waking point, like, we need to clean up.
I think he's in a really good position right now to do an album. Mm-hmm. He can work pretty much with whoever he wants to.
Mm-hmm. He has that label, the name.
And like you said, no one's controlling him anymore. He has control over what he wants to do now.
Exactly.
for
And here's
multiple
the funny
reasons.
thing. Yeah, exactly. And here's the funny thing, because as you listen to today's music, I mean, still there's mainstream pop and R&B and stuff like that, but there's a lot more artists that are starting to get more creative by kind of going backwards in time and trying, mixing in some old school. And like Bruno Mars is one of them, because a lot of his songs deals, takes a lot of stuff from like, um, what's that band? They sang doo-wop. That doo-wop dee doo 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 doo. Oh God, I can't remember who it is. A Zap band, and he, Bruno Mars took some keys from there and started making some really old school sounding songs. So I hope that if he is coming with the album, that he gets with, he does get with some creative people where they kind of get back to the roots, because that's where, I'm pretty sure that he would have a lot more fun in.
I love what Bruno Mars has done with popular music and,
Oh.
and putting that 90s flavor into it. I just love it. I just love it. Like they say that after a certain age, you kind of stop absorbing new music and you kind of are stuck listening to, not stuck, but your favorite stuff came from a certain time in your life when you were in your youth. And it'll stay that way. Not for everybody, but for a lot of people. I'm one of those people, hence why I do a podcast like this. So when Bruno started doing that throwback sound, I just fell in love with his music.
The 24 Karat was actually it was before that one, but there was one song in 24 Karat which was oh God, what was that song called?
There's a song he does with Cardi B. That's
that's
so,
that's a good one.
Finesse is fantastic.
That was a really good one. But there's a slow song in 24K that was really good, and it sounded like it was Michael Jackson almost. And if I could just find the album. Oh, here it is. And then the songs are called. Give me the songs, please. Versace on the Floor.
Versace on the Floor, yeah.
Yeah, there's that one and that one really had that old school vibe to it. But but before that was like the what was that one?
Don't Believe Me, Just Watch. Oh yeah. That's Uptown
This
Funk.
is the cool.
Uptown Funk
Uptown
with
Funk.
Mark Ronson. Yeah.
And
yeah, that was beautiful.
He did really well. And it's a good point that you talk about how artists kind of stay in that zone or not stay in the zone, but where they kind of grow up. Like I think I don't really listen to this particular person, but Rihanna is actually one of them. And Rihanna, if you compare her first album that she did, and then you come to her most recent albums, it's really almost night and day. She's starting to experiment like different ways of doing music and stuff like that, and really trying to get like this particular image that she wants, And so, like I said, I really hope that Tevin does that. I'm waiting for your album, Tevin.
First album, if it breaks, then good. Then you're in a rush to make the second album. This is what people say. You have your whole life to write your first album. Second album is a rushed album because they want to capitalize on your success. If that album makes it, the third album you have more control over. And from that point on, if that album doesn't make it, you're pretty much done.
That's it.
And it's, I don't know if it's the same way now. We live in a culture now where you can just release singles if you want to.
Yeah, one hit wonders. That's kind of what it is right now. It'll just be like Aha all over again.
Yeah. 90s had a lot of one hit wonders, a lot of them. And that's part of the beauty and fun of doing this show is that I'm finding all these obscure tracks too that I'd be like, hey, you guys remember this? And people are like, I remember that song, but I have no idea who did it. Well, let me tell you.
That's probably what we were doing.
Let me tell you about it. Now you'll know. Then I try to find those people and see if they want to chat with me or not. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to extend that invitation one more time to Tevin Campbell and to come and chat with us about what's going on with his career now. And he was never a one-hit wonder. That guy was just fantastic and had so much going on in musically, so much talent.
Mhm.
And I don't know how better way to wrap up this episode, except guys, make sure you check him out. I'm going to be posting some of his tracks on our YouTube channel so people can see and hear
Yeah.
some of his greatest songs. And I'm going to play clips of the songs too, some of them that you mentioned.
Yes. And I just really hope that people who don't know him accidentally come across his music and they fall in love with him, because
Yeah.
really, it's really cool. And if you ever get a chance, also listen to the Goofy movie versions of his songs. It's so good.
That's awesome.
It's really, really good.
I've really enjoyed this chat. You're a really good co-host.
Oh, thank you. I was
You've
actually a
done
little bit
your
nervous.
homework.
Well, yeah, I did my homework. I'll be honest though, like when you mention like some artist names, I have a tendency. Okay, I don't really follow pop culture like that as much, where I know a lot of the names, but I'll recognize it if I hear them.
Mhm.
And you know, if you told me like Babyface produced this, and or no, I'm sorry, you'd say like this artist produced this song, and like, oh, okay, I know that song. It's like, yeah, it was from that guy. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense now, and then I'll snap it back in my head, you know. But yeah, it's actually my first time doing a podcast, so I hope I did a good job.
Now you're going to be addicted.
Oh god! And if you get
You're gonna
Tevin
catch the
Campbell
bug.
on, can you please invite me on with him?
Of course I would. Of course I would.
Oh my god!
I would. If I can get if we hear a positive answer from him, I will let you know, and you can be a part of that too. So hopefully, Tevin, we love you, and it was an honor to talk about you and your music today.
Mm-hmm,
Waiting for more tracks from you, and yeah, dope nostalgia. Another episode in the can.
Woohoo!
So I'll just be editing this up. I think I'm definitely going to let you know the week it's going to be published, so you can also
Okay.
share it on your social media and such. It's
Yeah.
still a little ways down the road, but not too far. Not too far.
I'm actually doing a live stream tonight. I know you don't like it, but I'm doing a tarot reading live stream for a mass audience tonight, and I'll mention about your podcast and
Oh, cool!
watch
Thank
out.
you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. It's gonna be it'll be a great episode.
I really like that episode. And if you want to talk about another episode with me, I'm so open to do it.
Okay, I'll let you know. I sent you that artist list. I've updated it a little bit, so I should send you a revised version as I've found more people to talk about. It was already pretty big, but it's even better.
I'm actually trying to find the list right now so I can get an idea what it looks like.
I'll send you a new list right now, actually, the revised edition. And it'll be in your email. Okay.
3T. How did I miss that one?
3T.
Oh,
can you imagine?
Oh my god.
I can't even imagine getting a member of the Jackson family on here. That would just blow my fucking mind.
Oh my god. What was that song? Anything. I will do anything for you. I will do anything, girl, anything for you. Yeah. And that's the one song that I know it's not about Tevin, but when you hear it's actually, I can actually apply this to Tevin too, because once you hear the first couple of notes from the song, that's the kind of song that makes you want to get off your seat and run up and down the aisles because you just freaking love it. You know, I'm just like, I go crazy. And 3T was like definitely one of them because that song was so romantic the way how they written it. Excuse me.
Cool. I'm gonna do an episode about them eventually. It'll be in the pipe eventually.
Okay.
I like to try to put feelers out there and see if anybody from the camp will.
Yeah, you have a lot of good ones. You have a lot of good ones in here.
Anything that has an asterisk next to it means it's already been done. So that's how new we are. I just put out episode 17 yesterday.
Oh, nice.
There's a lot to do. And that's great because this is my favorite thing to do now.
That's good. Do what you love, you know?
It's a
especially
good
now.
Yeah. Oh, and this is the best time I found trying to get interviews because no one's doing stuff. They're at home. I can get a hold of more people.
Mm-hmm. Karen White's a good one too.
Which one, Karen White?
I put breakfast at your table.
Did you say
And
Karen
make
White?
sure that, yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering when I'd be able to do that episode. If anybody, I've been trying to ask my friends if they've heard of Karen White, and they're like, "Nope." I'm like, "Come on,
You know, come on.
turn the lights down. It's time to get romantic." I was like,
Yes,
"Yeah, you don't know that song? Come on."
yes, that was actually a really good song. And I remember hearing the first notes of that one and the way she was like, baby, baby, baby. I was like, oh, I'm going to love this song because it sounds so good. I want to get romantic. Turn the lights down.
I got to get
Time to get romantic.
myself together here for the rest of this evening. So, good luck today with your
Yes.
stream.
Thank you so much.
And I
I hope
appreciate
you
your
keep in
time.
contact with me. I hope maybe another day you have me on the show again.
I hope so too, and I appreciate you spending the time. I'm sorry I had to move it to today, and then it looked like
No,
it
no,
might
it's
not
okay.
happen at all, and I'm like, no, wait.
It's okay. I had so much fun. It's all good. My schedule's pretty much open right now, so it's all good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
Bye bye.